So from your journey of fitness, wellness, and dancing, how have you been able to apply those pillars into today's situation? Because I'm not calling this the new normal because we still are adapting daily.
Yeah, yeah, and well, I think it's just everything is a learning curve. You know, this has never happened before, where the whole world shut down. Is This is the first time in history that has ever happened. So everyone is trying to figure it out,
Hmm.
and there's no right way to do it.
But how have you
You know,
how have you applied that to your personal day to day?
I'm just trying to learn.
Mm,
I'm learning like what can I
that's good.
do per day. You know, what can I do every day to still be better. Like I have no weights at home. So how can I work out when there's no gym?
So you're hitting those IG workout videos heavy then.
Uh, Sometimes yeah, but then like I know enough calisthenic work
Sure.
and we're also to the point where like because I've been doing push-ups for so many years, I'll never get tired of push-ups. So I can always do
Go
push-ups,
back to
and
the
that's a mental
basics.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mental thing too. Like, can I go back to the very basics of like what I used to do? And it actually helped me because I wasn't doing push-ups as much as I used to do it.
Hmm.
I was just relying on weights, and then this made me go back to the basics. And because I was going back to the basics, like I was like relearning the different things, the different movements of my body, like how my
Hmm.
body can move and things
Hmm.
like that, like what works and what doesn't for my specific body.
Hmm.
You know, even learning like if you didn't learn a single thing during this pandemic, during this quarantine,
Go ahead and say
like
it. Go ahead and say
like
it.
you really
Go
doing
ahead.
yourself a disservice. This is the first time where a lot of people couldn't work. You had a lot of time on your hands, and granted, you know, in the beginning when you first lose your job, you just kind of lost. You don't know what to
Yeah.
do. So I'm not knocking that.
Disclaimer,
You
also
know.
we are aware that everybody has traumatic experiences. Everyone's
Yes.
experiences are different.
Yes.
We're just speaking on the allotment of time that has passed.
Yes. Shout out to everyone that's figuring their way out through this and all of those things.
Hmm.
But with your time, like if you can't work, or there's something like you can figure
You
out a
can
way to
supplement that
work.
time for
Yeah,
something else.
yeah, or you can find some way to work. Like I think non-essential jobs you couldn't work, right? But if
Hmm.
you really wanted to work,
There were
essential jobs,
essential opportunities
essential
that
jobs
will work.
where yeah,
Yeah,
we're taking people. There's something that you can do.
sure.
Granted, like, does it affect you mentally? Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. But
but
that is
there are
why.
avenues.
Yeah, but then I think a lot of people were dealing with mental health issues during this pandemic because just didn't know what to do,
With they didn't
right?
know how to occupy their time.
Exactly. But
And most of that stems from not checking in with yourself.
mhm,
I haven't been working out, or I haven't been doing these things that suit me, that feed me. Like I've only
mhm,
just been moving in
mhm.
automatic because I have this mission to
Yeah.
accomplish for the outwardly society to kind
Mhm.
of deem what's important.
Yeah, and me too, just like everybody else. That first 2 weeks,
Hmm.
I didn't do anything. I didn't know what to do. But then I felt my body just feeling weaker, and I'm like, I can't do this. So, like I said, I just started with back to the basics, just push-ups.
Hmm.
I started sweating. I started feeling better.
Hmm.
And then because I started feeling better like that, like physically, mentally, and things like that, I started applying more of a
Yep.
diet,
That's exactly how
right?
it
Like,
happened. Yep.
and then I was like, you know what? I never really took my diet seriously because I'm a guy that has like a pretty high metabolism, right? So I can eat whatever, and like I don't really gain too much weight like that.
Hmm.
But I was like, let me try dieting. But then like I had to do my research, and I was like, what fits into like my schedule? What
Hmm.
fits into how my lifestyle? And the first thing that I picked was intermittent fasting because I generally don't eat breakfast anyway,
Hmm.
but now I made it a clear conscious time that I'm going to eat from 1 to 9, you know, like even if I ate like late night, which I used to do a lot,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to just make a conscious decision. I'm cutting off by 9.
Hmm.
And it was very hard that first week, like I was like hungry around like noon. I wanted to eat something like late at night,
But you're
like,
just
but I was like,
reprogramming your
no, no,
body.
yeah, I was like, no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick to this,
Hmm.
and so after like that first week, like it worked. you know, and I dropped 20 pounds like this. It took me a lot to maintain 180, but then without the gym, without being able to do all those things, I started feeling heavy.
Yeah,
you know, I started feeling heavy, and so. But then when I started going with intermittent fasting, and it's not even like I changed what I was eating too much. I started with just my time frame.
It's the time frame.
Yeah,
You're giving yourself that 8 hour window to eat as much as you can.
Yeah.
Within your comfort, and then call it a night, and then start over again.
Yeah, and I did that for like 2 weeks, and like, you know, I started noticing differences, and then because I started noticing differences, I tried to add a bit of a keto diet into the intermittent fasting. So I started cutting out like carbs little by little and things like that, and like overall, like I just dropped 20 pounds real fast. And then started eating more greens and things like that, and then so I started growing my own vegetables in my yard.
Sustainability,
like,
people.
Yeah, but
it's a thing.
And I'm telling you, it just starts with one thing. You just do one thing, and then it just leads
once
to
that
different
spark
things.
Ignites. Keep tailoring it, keep fanning it, and watch that flame grow.
Yeah, but I mean, even with the dieting, I do not think that I would have been able to add the keto diet into the intermittent fasting
unless you had
unless I stuck to the intermittent fasting,
unless you created a schedule already.
Yeah, unless I got that perfect first, there's no way I was going to be able to add anything else.
No, doesn't make sense.
It's like you got to do one thing right,
which makes sense. It's like, all right, limit the window. Now I'm understanding how I feel within said window. Oh, now that I've got this window down pat, let's limit certain things that I don't really need in my life anymore.
Yeah.
Take this one ingredient out, and like the impact is crazy. I lost about 16 pounds as well, just from intermittent fasting and just kind of supplementing my meals, and also dedicating myself to biking a lot.
Yeah, and you know, and then what that led to for me is that when I started intermittent fasting, I realized that I was saving money too. Right? I'm like, what is the next step?
Make it make sense.
Yeah. So I was like, let me just try growing my own vegetables. Right? So
man, I got all this free time.
Yeah, so I started growing my own vegetables. It's not crazy, but like
you don't have like a urban garden.
No, it's not like that. But it's
a few buckets.
There's certain things that like certain vegetables that Koreans eat. You've been to Korean barbecue with me, so you know those kind of greens that are there. Yeah, I started growing that. I also started growing like squash and things like that, because like, you know, once I started doing it, I was like, okay, I got these actually taste really good, so let me just try growing this. So like it went from like all of those things into bell peppers and squash and stuff like that. Like, I'm never paying for vegetables again.
Which I also I was literally about to say, table this, because what you're literally saying to the viewers and to me is that because of your clean eating lifestyle, it is now shifted to you becoming more sustainable, more self-sufficient. So within the free time that quarantine has given us, you've now taught yourself how to grow meals for yourself in order to then feel good about yourself, which the overall message that I'm now receiving is that it saved money at the end of the
It saved a lot of money. So it saved a lot of money. And once I started doing it,
pays off.
Yeah,
I'm basically saying it pays off to focus on yourself.
Yeah, I want to make this clear. It was not easy.
Nothing
easy. Yeah, like
nothing ever.
Like, I'm telling you, intermittent fasting, when I first started, I wanted to quit after the first like 3 days, you know. But this is also why I came up with this name for this podcast as Winner Circle, because winners never quit.
True.
Right?
Everything is cyclical.
That's a cliche saying, but winners never quit. And we mentioned this before, but there's no finish line to life. You know, you're either winning, you're losing, or you're staying still.
Actually,
and if you're staying still, like I said, I think that's worse than losing. Yeah. So
I was about to say, there's only you're either better than where you are, or you're less than where you are. You never stay the same, because the way things move in this life, this beautiful journey called life, ebbs and flows. So you either have to adapt with the highs and the lows, because you can't stay.
Yeah.
You stay, you're hitting into a wall, and things are moving on without you.
Right.
And now you're left. And that's what you mean to say, like, when you're stuck doing nothing, that's when it's like, how do I even adjust to what's going on?
And the thing is, anybody can be a winner, but not everybody does, because they end up quitting somewhere. You know, especially with diets and fitness. Depending on your body, sometimes your diet doesn't kick in. You don't see the results of your diet for like 2 months later.
We want that immediate
but
response.
Yeah, but fitness, your lifestyle, all of that, it's not a sprint.
And it's not an Instagram post either. Like things don't get glamorous just the next post.
It is the longest marathon that you can have, because there is no finish line. Your body can always get better. You might get hurt, and then you got to start all over again. It is a
human
slow
body
grind.
It's a fascinating experiment.
Yeah, it is
how it's able
it
to.
is the slowest grind I think there is, because you will never ever find an instant gratification with it. Because even if you go to the gym the first day and you're like, yeah, you're motivated, you're pumped, and then you start doing all these things, you pick a workout plan and you start and you go and you go.
You look at yourself in the gym, you're like, damn it, I did all this work and nothing has changed.
Or not even that too, but then like the next day you're just sore and you can't move.
Oh yeah, you gotta keep going.
And then they want to, and then people want to quit.
Yeah,
right, but you can't.
Last time I checked, the soreness doesn't equate to muscles and a physique in 2 weeks. No,
definitely
you gotta work
not.
past it.
It's
pain,
grind.
It's weakness leaving the body. That's what I like to personify pain is. Weakness leaving the body.
Yeah, and
you're gonna feel that pain because you haven't exercised that strength. You haven't built that strength or exercised those muscles yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of progression through pain, and I think that's a life lesson too. You do not grow without growing pains.
Of course,
you know, you don't learn lessons until you fail. You
got to go through some pains in order to get to the other P, which is pleasure.
Yeah, I'm a huge fitness advocate because I had whatever trauma I had, right? And should I have gone to therapy? Probably. But I didn't have access to therapy.
Or your form of therapy at that time was fitness.
Yeah, fitness is my therapy.
Which has led into a whole lifestyle change.
Yeah, all right. So before we end this first episode, let's do a couple of rapid fire questions.
Okay.
What music do you like to listen to? Like, what are your favorite artists to listen to?
My favorite genre is R&B. Favorite artists: Sade, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Fleetwood Mac.
At the gym, when you're working out.
Hey man, R&B music. So when I work out, I picture myself naked. It is what it is, but it helps me. It motivates me to work out. I'm like, all right, room for improvement.
Well, you know what they say. Average people look good with clothes on. Fit people look good without clothes.
What is your biggest pet peeve in the gym?
Biggest pet. Trainers that are out of shape. I cannot stand seeing trainers that are out of shape. Who wants to get training by you? Like,
basically,
who wants to spend money?
So you feel like they're robbing their clients.
Yeah, like I don't care if you know everything about it. Like you were you're not applying it to yourself. Like, why would I even listen to anything that you're saying? You're not taking your own advice.
This is true.
I don't understand people that would I don't understand gyms that would hire them as trainers, because as a trainer, that should be part of your resume. Like you should. You
are the walking billboard of your business.
Exactly. And to the
you want me to train you? Look at me.
And to the people that spend their money on these out of shape trainers, get your money back. Get your money back. I don't get it. I do not get it. Like, okay, he might know everything.
Nerve. Wow.
Yeah, because I see them all the time, and I'm like, why? No.
It's supposed to be rapid fire, my guy.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's okay. But
I'm joking.
No, but like I just do not get out of shape trainers. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What is your pet peeve at the gym?
It's easy. I don't like flexors. So let me. Yeah. That person agrees with me. I don't like flexors because, and let me explain what a flexor is. A flexor is somebody who feels the eyes on them, so they feel the need to overcompensate, perform, if you will. My dog,
Yeah.
you don't need 4 plates on each side if you can barely squat 45-degree angles.
Yeah.
Take 3 of those things off, get your 12 reps in with the 135 and keep it pushing.
Yeah.
I will applaud you that you got a better workout in than you doing 3.
You know what? I'm gonna add to that flexor definition. Those guys that try to make other people feel bad at the gym. You know, I hate those guys too. Like, especially those guys that try that they might look good or they might be like meatheads or like whatever, and they've been working out for a long time, and then they see a newbie and they try and put him down. I cannot stand those guys.
And that's so like it goes back into that statement, because if I see that you're doing all of that, the extra toxic bravada, and then I see that you're struggling on the thing, I'm like, my dog, let's adjust the weight, get what you need done, put back everything that you did, and then add on so that I can get my rep in, because what you're not going to do is disrespect me. What was your go-to dance move? Or what is your current go-to dance move? Whenever you hear music, you just whip it out of the arsenal, body wave to the wall.
I think it'll just be. I think it'll always be some sort of like pop or wave or an isolation. I think it just always comes down to that. Yeah, I think it always comes down. Like if I'm at a club or something like that, and that kind of setting, depends on the setting, obviously. I'm not gonna try and spin on my head and or things like that. You know, like like I don't like the setting is like what it needs to be. Like, but then like now because I'm a little older now, like I just like the groove.
You still
like I like to. Oh, of course. Okay, I don't think I'll ever lose that.
That's his go-to. You still got that in his arsenal.
I'll never lose that. But now, like, I don't like to exert as much energy like that. So I'll just like kind of just groove in my pocket and like, you know,
we do love a good groover.
Yeah. So I think that's where I stay at with that.
I feel you.
What is your weakest body part?
My weakest body part, I would have to say, is my chest.
Your chest.
Yeah.
Which is
it doesn't look it don't look like it, but I wouldn't say I just don't spend time on it. I'm more of a lower body workout kind of guy and core. My arms are at this point naturally big because of football, but because I don't spend much time on my upper body, I feel like my chest gets neglected a lot.
You know what's funny about that is I've seen you since college, and it's weird for me to hear you say that because I've always seen you as top heavy. Your body frame was just like this, right? But then your legs were like skinnier. So I don't know. I would never have guessed that you said your chest.
I mean, me and Bryson set the record for squatting, so like people didn't think that I could put as much weight as I could endure on my legs, but I've always appreciated and kind of idolized lower body workouts. I think that just comes from the soccer, nature, because my top side is effortless at this point, and I also feel like it's residual from football. Because again, if you work out 3 times a day for about 10 years, because 2 years in middle school and then 8 years high school and college, it's inevitable. I feel like. One last rapid fire question for me. What is your cheat meal? Say in 3 seconds. Go.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream. Yeah, that's not even a cheat meal. It's just like I just love my ice cream. That's it.
How often would you have ice cream?
I eat it every day, but in portion control. Like I do not eat more than 2 scoops.
What?
Yeah, I do not eat more than 2 scoops.
You're better than me, because in my job I had 2 things of ice cream yesterday, 2 cups of ice cream yesterday.
Yeah, but like I said, that all goes back to the discipline that it started with. Like I went from eating a pint to eating half a pint.
True.
And then from half a pint to a quarter, and then from a quarter to 2 scoops.
Makes sense. Winner.
Yeah. Yeah, so man, yeah, it was a pleasure to
My
do
God,
this.
thank you so much.
That is a wrap for our first episode of the Winner Circle podcast. Remember, life is a workout. It is the longest marathon. It is not a sprint. And always remember, winners never quit. All right. And so if we can do it, believe us when we say that you can do it too.
As long as you're alive, you got time. We're living and we're learning. If you're not learning, you're not living.
Mm-hmm. So we hope you tune in for our next episode. And like I said, this was our very first episode. This is all totally unscripted. We don't have any notes with us or anything like that. This was just strictly this was just strictly all just off the top, just two people having a conversation. All right, so we hope to see you at the next episode.
Easy.